Emergency Broadcast News is brought to you by the CDC and PBS. This emergency service is one of great urgency. Hello. The world is coming to an end. This epidemic seems to be airborne and affecting every single human that comes into contact with the virus. The CDC has developed an accurate synopsis of the ailment and has classified it as a brain-eating suicide virus. It appears to be lying dormant in the host until death of said host. Then the virus activates and reactivates back to a living state. While the virus lays dormant, the body overcompensates to try to destroy the virus, causing a spike in body temperature and flushing of fluids. The first round of the deceased died of severe dehydration caused by extreme diarrhea from the flushing of fluids. We're all gonna die. The CDC has classified it as a suicide virus because the virus dies after a 24-hour period, and then it's out of your system, but you're already dead and reanimated, and you're a zombie. So how about that? Once the virus becomes active, it starts attacking certain parts of the brain. We'll go over that, the different parts of the brain, and we'll talk about how that affects the reanimated. The following symptoms have been displayed by the reanimated. The reanimated appear to have a slurred speech, no long-term memory recollection, short-term memory intact, impaired motor skills, and agitated state, no pain receptors. They don't sleep and seem to be very hungry. The CDC has been inspecting these brains to see what parts of the brain were affected. Apparently the first subject they found was seen outside of a bar, slurred speech, stumbling, arms out, trying to catch his balance. Slurred speech, what they made out from it was, I'm a tough guy, I don't feel no pain. Turned out just to be a douchebag from New Jersey. Ha! So that's pretty funny. But moving on, the CDC has listed out what parts of the brain were affected and different things that this damage has caused. Damage to the frontal lobe left side in the Broca's speech area. Brain signals are not traveling from the Broca's area to the primary motor area of the frontal lobe to make the mouth and larynx function properly. This is what's causing the slurred speech, as they've discovered. Although some parts of the prefrontal cortex appear to be damaged, parts of the prefrontal lobe seem to be working since the reanimated are providing exemplary short-term memory skills. Basically what that means is when the zombies see something, and since they're constantly hungry, they try to eat that thing, they don't forget where they are and what they're doing. They're trying to kill you. So that's fun. So in the thalamus in the prefrontal cortex, which is a major sensory relay station for incoming sensory information, appears to be slightly damaged. The part of the thalamus damaged is responsible for the loss of sensory of pain. So you can shoot it, you can stab it. It's not going to do anything. The hypothalamus also appears to be damaged. The signals that regulate rage and anger are overly active and are causing the reanimated to be constantly enraged since the signals are not reaching the prefrontal cortex properly. Another part of the hypothalamus overproducing signal is that of hunger. Feeding, satiety, and feeling full. They will eat 1,000 of us and they just won't stop. But my question for you, CDC, is what happens when their stomach pops? Obviously, they're still going to feel hungry, because that's how brains work. The hypothalamus of the host keeps informing the body to eat, but a damaged portion has resulted in the reanimated to never feel full. That's terrifying. And yes, it is worse than the stoners that go to your local college. They stop eating eventually. Trust and believe. Another part of the host brain that is causing aggression is the limbic system. In order with the amygdala. Why does the CDC do this to me? Yes, I'm a news reporter, but I can't read. The amygdala system, which is also producing anger and aggression. Angry zombies. Worse than a woman on a period, that's for sure. The cerebellum also appears to be damaged and is causing the loss of balance that we have witnessed in the reanimated, resulting in the arms constantly being up for balance. If they don't do that, they'll fall over and die. Not die, but they're still scary. They also theorized the basal ganglia is responsible for the arm movement, since the basal ganglia is responsible for primary motor control. We believe that it has taken over the body's motor function, and since it needs its arms to stay up and not fall over, that's leading to the awesome thriller scenes we're seeing out there on the streets. The parietal lobe seems to only be slightly damaged. This section is responsible for post-central gyrus-sensory area. This has led to the impaired motor skills as well. They do seem to be walking real slow, very, very drunk-like. That's why the CDC got confused with that New Jersey guy. But oh well. The hippocampus, or the part of the brain that's responsible for long-term memory, seems to be completely destroyed by the virus, as the reanimated seem to be attacking long-life loved ones. I watched a man crouch down and start eating his dog. It blew my mind. I can't imagine doing that to my dog. That's terrifying. The only parts of the brains that seem to be unaffected are the temporal lobe, the part needed for hearing, and also the occipital lobe, which controls sight. They can see where they're going, guys. They can see where they're going. And even if you poke their eyes out, they still have excellent hearing. And, I mean, when you're dealing with blind people, they can hear really well. So, let's not create any superhero zombies, please. It appears the only way to deactivate the reanimated is to break the spine or deactivate the brain in some way, which you can... I believe in non-violence, so I think the best course of action would just be to round them up. Just round them up. That's it. Just round them up. Put them in a cage. Let's start a zombie zoo. Patented. You can't take that. So for you that believe in violence, I guess the only course of action is to shoot or stab in the face. You have to deactivate the brain somehow or disconnect the brain from the brain stem. Although if you were to cut the head off, the body won't be animated anymore, but the head will. So that's fun. So yeah, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Hope you got your MREs, guys. That's it. I don't even know why we're filming this right now, because the CDC has clearly mentioned that there's no stopping this virus. It's airborne. It's airborne, guys. Airborne. Airborne virus. Cool. I quit. I'm not getting paid anyway, right?